Toledo, Nat Lowell, John Cahill, and Bud Rolt are participating remotely in today's meeting because their physical attendance would unreasonably be difficult. All Port Council members in attendance and all members participating in the meeting by Zoom video conferencing will be clearly audible to each other. As a result of the members' remote participation in this meeting, any and all votes taken by the members today shall be by roll call. I would also like to inform everyone that Sean Driscoll, the authority's communication director, is making an audio and video recording of today's meeting. Is there anyone else making an audio recording of today's meeting? If so, please identify yourself.
Unky.
Hello, Unky Sonu from the Martha's Vineyard Times.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Louisa, are you recording? There she is.
Yes, you guessed it. Louisa Huffstadter with the Vineyard Gazette is recording. Good morning.
Thank you, Louisa. If you are joining virtually, please press the raise your hand icon on the Zoom dashboard, or if you're joining by phone, by pressing number nine on your keypad. And when you are recognized, please state your name for the recording. Thank you. Also like to say that Rob is now on the line. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning. I was having trouble finding the link.
The minutes of the meeting. Do we have approval of the March 7th, 2023 meeting? Any changes or omissions?
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Oh,
Near, aye.
Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, everybody.
Mr. Salido, we need a roll call vote on that because of remote participation.
Okay. Nat Lowell,
here.
John Cahill,
Cahill, aye.
Aye. Sorry.
Ron Broll,
Aye. Bud Briot, aye.
Rob,
Munir, aye.
and Salido, aye. Thank you.
Oops, you forgot me.
Mark Reese.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mark.
It's okay.
Mark, aye.
Reese, aye.
Thank you. The management report, the updates on the current projects, including the website redesign, please.
Sure. So before we get started, I want to let you know who's in the room from the Steamship Authority. Myself, Mark Rosem, Treasurer. We have Sean Driscoll, our Communications Director. Zach Lawrence, one of our port engineers. Bridget Sullivan, our HSQE. Janice Kenefick from Human Resources. Bill Cloutier, and Jared from our IT department. So with that, Sean Driscoll will go over the website update.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Just a quick update. User acceptance testing is continuing by our internal auditing team and shoreside operations teams. The payment flow with credit cards is being prioritized for the next release. And then soon to follow are the workflows for changing and canceling reservations and enrolling and updating waitlist selections. The Steamship Authority and Project 202 have been reviewing the tasks left to do prior to beta launch, and we've determined that moving the launch to late May is the best way to deliver a superior experience to our customers. Both of our teams have been working very hard, but properly integrating the very many interconnected systems that run our business operations is a complex process that needs to be done right. Project 202 is committing additional engineer and developer hours to the extended effort at no cost to the authority. Our total project cost is $2.8 million to date. 90% of that revised budget cost has been spent. And our public engagement has been ongoing via the biweekly e-news and website updates online as well. So I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions from the members? If so, thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Woods
So
Hole
next up-
Terminal site work.
Sure. Bill Cloutier will be going over the Woods Hole terminal site work project and status.
Watch out for that cue.
Yep. Good.
Good morning, everybody. So to date, Lawrence Lynch has pretty much completed their work with stormwater improvements and raising the elevation of the site. And the work now is focused on the employee lot and the electricians. We're setting up a temporary switchgear shed and running duct banks, conduit duct banks to the new transformer that's going to be installed and to the sewer pump outs. And so the work now is pretty much isolated on site, is isolated to the employee lot. Sean, go for this first picture. Okay, this is a picture of the last work site that Lawrence Lynch did on the area. There's a handicap walkway going up to the front of the temporary terminal now that leads that goes from the north side to the south side entrance. Next. Just another picture of the grading just before paving. This is all paved and striped at this point. Next. This is a picture of the site of the work going on in the employee lot. On the bottom corner left is the new switchgear, temporary switchgear shed. And you can see all the trenching for duct banks leading to the transformer, which is going to be in the north or the upper left-hand corner, and then there's trenching to pick up the power the sewer pump outs. Next. This is just another view of the work shed. The duct bank going from this switchgear or from the freight shed to the temporary switch gear has already been installed at this point. Next. This is a view of the last work site that was paved after it was paved. So the elevation now is about 8.5 on the right-hand side of the terminal, and then it slopes down to about 5.5 at Railroad Avenue. Next. Okay, the original contract price was a little over 2.9 million, and we've had about 10% in change orders, 306,000. So the total contract price to date is 3.291 million. Any questions?
Hey, Bill,
No
thanks.
question.
I
Go ahead,
have a
Rob.
question. Yeah, Bill, thanks for that. You just gave those elevations 8.5 and 5.5. What's that relative to?
The elevation, the general site elevation, Bob, was about between 5.5 and 6 over the whole area. We're trying to raise the elevation to about 10 in most locations, and then it slopes down to the Couch Road and Railroad Avenue and under the bridge. So it varies, but on the right-hand side of that terminal, we raised it to half to match the 9 that we had previously done, and sloped it down to about 5.5 at Railroad Avenue.
Okay, so just curious, so when the new building goes in, what changes, if anything, relative to these different elevations?
Nothing. Those are the final elevations. So if you're at the site today, you can see the hole where the new building's going to go. We haven't at this point because we have to do ground improvement, Bob. And then that area is going to be raised to about 10.5. So that'll be the highest point on the site at the grade level. The building itself is going to start be up to about 13.5 by the time we get the plaza in and all.
Okay, great. That's kind of was, I was just trying to understand that sequence there. Thank you. That's makes sense.
Any other questions from the board? Next would be the Woods Hole Terminal site work, the SQMS update, please.
Sure, and Bridget Sullivan will be presenting that report.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
So, provide you a quick slide, please. So last month, the authority completed its very first internal audit. Safety Management Systems completed this audit last month. They are the same consultants who aided in producing our safety management system manuals rather. The audit was very professional and we were measured against our policies and procedures. We had such great support from both our vessel and shoreside teams who participated in the audit, and our teams were audited with regards to their roles and responsibilities. For the closing meeting held last week, the audit's team feedback was great. It showed that we have achieved together establishing a safety management system and where we are headed in continual improvement. There will be some corrective actions to be made, which is quite normal from any audit. Procedural feedback is expected and necessary to continual improvement. The final report was issued last week, to which I will provide a brief summary. Next slide, please. SMS has identified 4 best practices. Those include communication improvements from the OCC, our Operation Command Center, to vessel and shoreside operations. I have included a picture of the side of that best practice, the daily brief, which was created to replace other forms of communication and truly bridges the gap between marine and shoreside operations. The second best practice noted was marine operations spreadsheet used to determine trends related to trip cancellations resulting from mechanical deficiencies. The last 2 truly capture the essence of where we are headed with our safety management policy. All locations having the authority's commitment, the safety quality policy posted at all locations, and our commitment to providing additional training to vessel and shoreside employees. The spring safety.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt. The daily brief, that document that's on the slide, it's very difficult, or I can't read it, but could you kind of tell us what it says or what its purpose is?
It identifies all location managers. It identifies their contact information. And as many locations, we actually have managerial changes on a daily basis, including the vessels themselves. It identifies literally anyone and everyone in the organization that you would need to contact should you incur a problem or need additional guidance and information. And I would be happy to provide you with a bigger example of this form.
Sure, when you get a chance, but so basically it's a daily listing of who's working where and where equipment is and boats are and all that stuff.
Not necessarily where the boats are per se, but
Right.
who's managing those boats that day.
Okay, yeah,
The daily
That's-
dashboard.
that's great.
And with regards to training, we did start our spring safety fair just yesterday. Next slide, please. With regards to nonconformities, there were 8 identified. It's important to note that our safety management system policies and procedures were only put into effect less than a year ago, 8 months to be exact. And it does show our commitment our team is to meet the requirements of our policies and procedures in such a short amount of time. Though there are 8 nonconformities on the presentation, those findings were not necessarily representative of all 14 locations included in the audit. Of the 8 listed, a common denominator for half of them are related to policy implementation gaps, where either a new form was created to replace an older form or policies that were available weren't simply posted. The most alarming item noted here is item 6. It was observed during the audit that dock workers had not donned a personal flotation device while line handling. That was immediately addressed and corrected. And it's important to note that all locations have PFDs available. As per our policy, all nonconformities have been reported on the appropriate form and will be submitted to the process owner for corrective actions. Next slide, please. That brings us to 6 observations that were identified during the audit, an observation being defined as a statement of fact. Sometimes observations require corrective actions and sometimes they do not. The most important thing about an observation is to recognize that they are at risk of becoming future nonconformities. And with that, we did have 6 noted during the audit. 2 observations identified training opportunities, limited access, and vessel-specific training. It is important to note that we are aware of these challenges with training and are moving forward with dedicated Chromebooks for each location to increase access. At this time, each location has had a training laptop, And employees are also able to access training modules on their mobile devices. Again, I would like to emphasize that the safety management system did come into force 8 months ago. And these observations are truly excellent evidence that we are getting there and show just how committed, just show how important internal audits are as they help us identify these nonconformities, observations to which we can address either with more training and perhaps even updates to our policies to ensure that they become more effective in the future. Next slide, please. Lastly, that brings us to our opportunities for improvement, which are opinions and or recommendations by the audit team. As you can see, we have 12 recommendations that resulted from the internal audit. Each recommendation will be thoroughly reviewed to determine what the next step will be to improve our safety management system. As these opportunities do provide us with feedback that are critical to help move forward with continual improvements with our safety management system. Next slide, please. Now that our internal audit has been completed, we are even more prepared by our, Now that our internal audit has been completed, we are even more prepared for our RENA audit. We recognize the organization that will be certifying our safety management system. This audit will commence at the end of the month, starting April 25th, and will focus solely on our shoreside operations and procedures. And we're very fortunate to have the support of SMS, as the internal audit really was the first for many people within our team, and for being able to capture all of our different processes that make up our safety management system. We're truly able to standardize these processes throughout our entire network, both vessel and shoreside. And again, this all started 8 months ago. This audit will also produce additional findings and recommendations, all of which are part of the audit process. And it is our intent to ensure that all audit findings that were identified during the internal audit have been corrected prior to our third-party audit. Next slide, please. Lastly, I'd like to briefly mention the ISM vessel operations certification. That they will have an internal audit in July. Just to recap, the 5 vessels that received an interim certificate, Eagle, Gayhead, Katama, Nantucket, and Martha's Vineyard, have received their first interim certificate and were part of our internal audit last month. The internal audit has heightened the awareness of how important our safety management system is within vessel operations, and that all vessels still pending an interim will be scheduled during the next ISM audit in July. Next slide, please. Which brings us to training. A critical focus here at the Steamship Authority is through training that our safety management system will be successful, and we are proud to announce that our second safety fair has begun, again, just yesterday. The safety fair is a 2-week event, and we have had various department heads taking the lead in organizing training opportunities for our teams and organizing third-party trainings. One of those third-party trainers, Red Stanley, who is our instructor for OSHA safety modules, is already committed yesterday that this was by far the best organized training and organized participation that he has seen in years. And in addition to the safety modules, we are also offering customer service, de-escalation, first aid, CPR, and oil spill response. Again, critical improvement, continual improvement is a critical component of our safety system, and training is a primary tool to achieve that. Next slide, please. And with regards to our financial snapshot for the certification of our safety management system, so far we have only been charged $2,200. And all other fees will only be incurred upon completion of said audits, the interim certificates, the initial certificates, both vessel and ship. Any questions?
Brielle would like to second the request to get a copy of the, what do you call it, the daily brief.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And if I may, Mr. Chair, could we just get a copy to all the Port Council members?
That would probably be the best thing, if that could be possible, please.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes, Rob.
Yeah, thanks. Congratulations on getting this all moving. Just a couple of questions. The internal audits, how often are you going to do them? It looks like the ISO audit is a 3-year proposition, if I've got that. So how often do you do an internal audit?
Our internal audit will be done on an annual basis, covering all locations and all vessels.
Okay. And when you finish an audit, I mean, one metric obviously is the number of nonconformities, the number of observations, et cetera. But is there a score? In other words, at the end of it all, you amalgamate it into a score of of, how well you did. Because obviously things like nonconformities, some are worse than others, same with observations. So there's normally a weighting associated with those types of things, and then it sort of amalgamates into a overall score, like a 92% or something like that, which is a handy way of understanding how overall the organization is doing. Do you have any kind of a metric like that?
At this time, we do not.
Might
But
be
it's def-
something to consider, particularly for the things like the Port Council and the Board of Governors. Those types of things are a very handy, big picture measure of how things are going. Not to question anything that you're doing so far. This is great. A lot of the work that you've done here is just really good to establish these processes, but it's a way of sort of summarizing for us how we're doing.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob. That's a good suggestion. Any other questions?
I just have a couple of comments. I just want to
Go ahead,
say what
Mark.
a great job this is, and to commend the Steamship Authority management for the work in this area. I can't think of anything more important than the work that's being done under this program. So I just want to express my appreciation. I do have a question. Does this same presentation go to the Board of Governors on a monthly basis too?
Absolutely.
Great. Okay. Yeah. No, this is great. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Thank you very much. Next, the status of the MV Aquina, Monomoy, and Barnstable.
Sure. So, Bob Davis and Mark Munson are down south right now. They met with the shipyard yesterday afternoon. We're currently still finalizing the contract, but we have posted a meeting for this Thursday at 9:30 a.m. To potentially award the contract for the dry dock for the two vessels.
Is there any word on who the lowest bidder, or are they negotiating with the lowest bidder now? If I may ask, Mark?
Sure, it's Alabama Shipyard.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
I'd just like to know how much over the original budget the new award will be.
That they're still working on right now. So I don't want to put anything out until we finalize it.
Okay, thank you.
John, you had a question?
Bud just got to it. Thank you, Bud.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? And when's that meeting this coming Thursday?
It's been posted this morning. It's at 9:30 a.m. this Thursday.
Thank you. Number 5, the MV Governor dry dock status.
Sure. And presenting that will be Zach Lawrence. He's one of our port engineers and he's overseeing this project.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So the governor arrived at Senesco Repair Yard in North Kingston, Rhode Island on March 16th and went into the dry dock the following Friday, March 24th. The hull currently has been pressure washed. Over the weekend, the yard was sand sweeping the hull from the keel to the waterline, and coatings are being applied currently. Here's a picture of the stern frame. We've gotten back the bearing readings and everything looks really good, which will allow us to not have to pull running gear this year. We will be renewing the chains though for the governor's chain driven rudder system. Here we have a picture of the superstructure on the governor. As you can see, we have plywood over the windows and plastic over vents in preparation to UHP the superstructure in order to get a good coating application. So some of our highlights will include structural steel noodles, mostly underneath the outer sponsons. We'll be renewing seawater piping in both engine rooms that supply cooling water to the main engines. We will be doing several deck hatches. We'll be replacing those as well. quick financial snapshot. Because we won't have to remove the rudders, shafting or propellers, we should have some credits going back to us. And the only change order at this moment is one for those structural steel renewals underneath the sponsons that were found during our Coast Guard inspection.
Excuse me, any questions from the board? Excuse me.
Amazing old boat.
Beauty.
Yep, it really is.
My favorite. No other questions? We've been moving on to number B, update on the strategic planning project, please.
Sure. So Raptilus is the firm that's doing the strategic planning for us, and Julie and Emily from Raptilus are here today to answer any questions the board might have. But a quick update, they're currently doing ongoing with the fact finding and meeting with key stakeholders. And in fact, today, I believe they're meeting in Hyannis. Right now, some key milestones for us is that they're going to be meeting with the staff, going over the results of the fact finding and stakeholder meetings on May 1st. And the plan is to have a meeting on May 2nd with the board and Port Council to go over this. And I'll be happy, or Emily or Julie will be happy to answer any questions that the board might have regarding this.
Any questions from the board, please?
Not at this time.
Rob?
Just curious about the structure of what this May 2nd meeting, how that's going to be run, how long it's going to be, just for my own planning our own planning purposes.
So Julia from Raptilus will come up and go over. Yeah, please. So the camera will be up over there.
On May 2nd, I would characterize it more as a workshop, so it's designed to be interactive. And the timing of that was to begin, I believe the Port Council had a meeting already scheduled for that morning on May 2nd.
We do.
And so we're going to begin the workshop after your meeting at 10 a.m. And this is in person for everyone. And the senior staff will be there, as well as both the Board of Governors and the Port Council. We planned the meeting to go from 10 to 3. And the idea is at the end of the workshop, we would have a structure for the strategic planning framework, kind of the vision and those key outcome areas or critical success factors. So we're going to
was one, if I may interrupt, that was one of the questions that I had. Coming over from the vineyard, our meetings usually begin at 9 o'clock. If we could start our meeting at 9:30, it would save us leaving at 7. We could catch the 8:15. Is there any way we could start your meeting, let's say at 10:30 instead of 10?
Yes, sir. We will be here and ready to go whenever y'all are ready to go.
Mark, could we have sort of an abbreviated meeting that morning of the Port Council?
Yes, we can.
Nat, how would that affect you coming over for the meeting?
Say that again.
How would that affect you coming over? They said they wanted an in-person meeting.
So like what, May, what was it?
May 2nd, Tuesday, May 2nd.
I mean, is it in Falmouth?
Yes.
Yes.
You want it at the office, right, Mark?
Correct.
You can stay at Rob's house.
Listen.
Plenty of room, Nat.
Say it
Sure.
back.
I mean,
You
I
can
don't
say-
want to not, I'm not gonna, of course, I'll figure it out. 9:45, 9:30.
If you can, yeah.
No, I
If you
can
can't-
make it.
I was gonna say, if you can, is there some way that it'd be permissible for him to do it on Zoom?
It would be very challenging to do to do the work that we're going to do together in a hybrid format. The person who is hybrid would not have the same type of experience and be able to participate as well.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
yeah. I'll just gotta be around 9:45, 9:30, 9:45.
So Nat, you could start the Port Council via phone because remote participation will still be allowed to the Port Council, then transition to in-person at the Port Council, and then be in person for the strategic plan after.
They got it all figured out for you, Nat.
Well,
Really?
look, I know what 2019 was like. I have a vivid memory. So believe me, in all areas, by the way. So, you know, Mark, you know how it works. I gotta take the 7:40. I can't make the meeting at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if I took the 6:30, I still can't make the meeting at 9 o'clock. So,
Our meeting won't start till 9:30 now.
Yeah.
okay. No, I'll be there. I'll figure it out.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions from the board?
Yeah, Joe, I'm just curious, is this a public meeting? The second part of this, the strategic planning meeting?
It'll be noticed as a joint meeting with the board and board council.
Would have to be.
But we
Just
would
asking.
not-
Just want to make sure everybody's clear of that.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
See the results of the preseason sale of MV Iano ticket books?
Absolutely. So the ticket books this year were on sale for the 20% discount from March 19th to April 1st. This year, we sold 4,669 books, which is a 24.9% increase from last year, where we sold 3,737 books.
Wow.
So with that, Sean or myself will be happy to answer any questions anyone has.
Any questions from the board? There's no questions. We'll go to the treasurer's report on the business summary for February.
Okay. Okay, so for the month of February 2023, comparing to last year, passengers for both routes combined were up 5.8% or 6,213. The Vineyard route was up 6.7%, while the Nantucket route was down 0.6%. And keep in mind, in February, our high-speed boat does not operate. Year to date, we're up 30,158 passengers combined for both routes. The Vineyard was up 15.9%, and the Nantucket route was up 5.8%. Here's a monthly graph showing the comparisons by month. Vehicles, passenger vehicles for the month on the Vineyard route, we're virtually flat or down 33 vehicles. You can see the excursion fares are up while the standard fare autos are down. On the Nantucket route, every category was down. Both routes combined were down 328 vehicles or 1.1%. Year to date, we're up 4.6% or 2,800 vehicles for both routes. Freight vehicles, both routes combined were up 7.1% or 410 vehicles. The Vineyard was up 10.8%, Nantucket was up 1.2%. Year to date, both routes combined were up 12.9% or 1,445 vehicles. And those are one ways. Based on comments from Rob last month, instead of going with a line graph, we went with a column graph to try to better illustrate when the vehicles are traveling. So for the month of February, this shows every type of vehicle, cars and trucks, and on what trip. The times indicate what trip they're leaving, either the Vineyard or Woods Hole. Here are the weekday averages per truck with the freight trucks by trip. And here is on the weekends, and you can see the big difference between the weekdays and the weekends.
I'd like to thank you for doing that. It's much, much clearer.
Well, thank you guys for the suggestion, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Cars parked for both routes combined were up 20.9% or 720 vehicles. The Vineyard route was up 22.8% or 704 vehicles. The Nantucket route was up 4.5% or 16 vehicles. Both routes combined year to date were up just over 2,000 vehicles or 29.9%. Okay, so trip summary for the month of February. On the Vineyard route, we had 22 trips canceled for mechanical reasons, 10 for weather. On the Nantucket route, we had 2 trips canceled for mechanical and 10 for weather. And year to date, we've had 37 trips canceled for mechanical reasons and 42 for weather. Financial snapshot for the month of February, operating revenue of $5,133,000 was higher than budget by $61,000. Other income was lower than budget by $826,000. That's just the timing on grant revenue, which we'll realize later on in the year. Operating expenses of $9,506,000 was lower than budget by $1.4 million, and we'll go over that in a future slide. Putting this all together, we have a net operating loss of $4,292,000, which is lower than budget by $773,000. Year to date, we have a net operating loss of $7,977,000, which is lower than budget by $2.9 million. Operating revenues for the month of February, all categories were above budget except for the automobile revenue. That's looking at the Nantucket route was down for all categories, and the automobile revenue as well as the standard fare for the vineyard. That's driving that number. So putting it together, we have up on the operating revenue about $61,000 for the month at 1.2%. Year to date, we're up about 6.3% of the operating revenue. Here's a breakdown of the categories for our operating revenue, both for the month and year to date. Operating expenses for the month were down $1.4 million. You can see the maintenance expenses down just over $1 million. $502,000 of that is just timing on the governor, which we'll realize next month. And we have some on landside projects that are timing issues as well. That also applies for the 1.7 million year to date. We're below budget. Again, 500,000, that's for the timing of the governor, and there's about 1.2 million in landside projects that are just going to be hit later on in the year. Fuel expenses for the month were down 91,000 or 14.1%. We budgeted for $4.02 a gallon and came in at $3.28.
Good.
And there's a breakdown of the operating expenses by month and for the year. So for the first 3 weeks of March, passengers for both routes combined are up 1.8% or 1,558 passengers. The vineyard's up 2.5% and the Nantucket route is down 3.1%. Vehicles carried on the both routes are down for the first 3 weeks of March. The vineyard route is down 3.2% and the Nantucket route is down 11.6%. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions anyone has.
Any questions from the board?
And
Thank you, Mark.
Oh, you're welcome. One last thing, real quick, last scheduled item on the agenda. Just want to update the board on the sale of the bond anticipation notes. It's actually a rollover from the notes that we had in September. We received 4 bids. This was back on March 20th. The low bid was 2.885%. And the high bid was 3.37%. It was awarded to Jeffries LLC of New York, and they're actually the same firm that bought the bond anticipation notes back in September. We expect to convert these to bonds in September of this year.
Any questions from the board?
No, other than to say, great job, Mark. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Team effort.
I just have one question. As part of the sale of the bond, did our financial advisors or bond rating agencies issue a report?
Yeah, so Moody's rated us as M1G and also for our notes, it was M1G, and for our bonds were AA1.
Okay, could I have a copy? Could you send me a copy of that report?
Yeah, I'll send you the Moody's press release on that.
That'd be great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions from the board? Any old or new business? Thank you. Any public comment?
Don't see any.
Sean, just one thing before we adjourn. is there, I know you were busy last week because of the meeting on Friday, but is there any way we can get this material maybe for over the weekends? Because I didn't get to read it till last night and reading 70 some odd pages.
Yeah, we'll push further ahead on that for you next month. We know it was.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. Any other business to be brought before the board?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, John.
I just want to confirm, we're going to meet on at 9:30 on the May 2nd, correct?
Yes, in
That's
Falmouth.
decided? Okay.
And I assume right now all board council members will be there.
I know how to get there still too. I don't need to use GPS or get directions. I got it figured out.
Matt, you might want to with all the construction going on in the Cape right now.
No, I'm going the old dumb way, Mark. I know where to take a right, the rotary.
Okay. Well, you can't take that right at the Rotary right now.
Why?
Construction.
You can't go to Mashpee 151?
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Jeez, thanks a lot. All right.
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
That'd be a motion to adjourn, Chair.
I'll second.
So move. Second.
Mr. Lowell,
Aye.
Mr. Cahill,
Cahill, aye.
Mr. Briot,
Real tie.
Mr. Reese,
Mr. Reese, aye.
Mr. Munier,
Mr. Munir, aye.
and Salito, aye. Again, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice day, everybody.
Bye-bye.